Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is episode 13 of One Shot at a Monster.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic redemption. Now I'm waking to pain.
Well, hello, I'm Josh. I'm your dungeon master, and with me,
Hi, I am Dean. I am playing Dances with Wolves Windmere, the human knight.
I'm John. I'm playing Dr. Merrick Hoffman, the Ice Cube Scholar.
I'm Jake, and I'm playing Avery Colburn, who is missing his home.
And I'm Matt, playing Keeler Ulson, the Bone Carver Ranger.
all right, and Jake has brought the smallest fucking dice I've ever seen in my life to the table, which seems like a pure just set up to cheat because
They
I
were,
couldn't.
for sure.
I would have no
I
idea.
can't even read
First
them.
of all, they were a Christmas present. They came in a cool little box.
Who got you those dice for Christmas?
My wife.
Wow, that's a keeper. I think they're just the
I would-
right color to be deceptive
I'm not
with.
going to say where they came from unless they want to give us money or something.
Fair enough.
How appropriate, since she's got your other dice in her other lockbox. Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
last time around, we saw a lot of time pass. We kind of you guys finished your tests, only to be interrupted, ambushed at the end of it, both in the test itself and out of it. So you came to the death of Jan and some of the defenders there. And last session, we spent most time talking with members of the council. You were brought out to the Great Shelf itself, a pretty magnificent and powerful place in this ancient caldera of this extinct volcano. And after discussion, the elders essentially agreed to be a part of this, of whatever it takes, and that included Dr. Hoffman digging his little half-elven fingers into that pile, grabbing out some Tathazine crystals, and you guys made your way to the next part of the quest, which was to go to the island of Tregkullen in the far, far northwest, the place of Sir Adric's dreams, his visions of where the shield might be. So it took several weeks to get there, passing through rather quickly the village of Udvar, the home of Keeler, and you pushed on. You were transported by longship as far as they could safely go, then by canoe into a sheet of ice, and spent about 36 hours crossing the ice, getting to Tregkullen itself, in an increasingly, almost unnaturally level of cold and chill. Some of you, I think two of you, have taken your frostbane. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did.
You can't prove it.
Hoffman did.
Okay. Hoffman and Avery,
Yeah.
a couple holding out. You made your way up to...
I think I held out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hardo boys, the Hard brothers, holding out Adric and Keeler.
Bash Brothers.
Who's ready to get slammed? Made your way up to the saddle of this three-peaked island, so kind of in the center of it, very unnaturally cold, still, and found the opening of a massive cave that seems to lead down into the bowels of the island itself. And as you started to enter it, bones and stones scattered around began to come to form, come to life around you, and that was where we left off. Quite a cliffhanger, but we'll take a little pause to do a little bookkeeping, because what we didn't do is we jumped through our time last session was go over a couple changes. You guys all leveled up, and there was some talk about changing some of the stuff we start off the game with, motivations, merit, flaws, or bonds, if you thought so. So first, let's go around real quick. And does anybody have anything they want to change? Start with you, Jake.
No, I'm not changing. Oh, I'm changing bonds and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. So, for Avery, I think that his time living with the elves on the snow has changed him a little bit. I'm going to leave my goal the same. He still wants to be seen as a hero. His merit, calculating, prepared is staying the same. I'm going to change my flaw. So it was culturally insensitive. And now we kind of talked about this a little bit in the weird cave scene, but I'm changing it to self-doubt. Avery projects confidence and sometimes superiority, but in reality, he questions if he's good enough to do what must be done. He feels like he doesn't truly belong in this group. So he feels like a big phony sometimes. That's his flaw. And then for bonds, I only had one. I have one for each player now. So my bond with Adric is now an example of true heroism. Avery has seen a future where Adric is remembered as the hero who slayed Arctogrim, but doesn't return alive. He's afraid to tell Adric what he has seen, but he knows it wouldn't change Adric's path. And then I put, could Avery be so heroic? He doesn't know if he could. So I think that bond is sort of just, I see him as, I want to fake what I think he really is going to be.
That's some deep shit.
And then for
Just a dude pretending to be a dude.
Guys, is another dude.
For Keeler, I've got The Simple Life. By watching Keeler, Avery is slowly learning that life can be fulfilling and successful without social status or wealth. I think he's seen that Keeler is actually happy living like a peasant on the ice, and you know, he's not gonna give up his castle or anything, but he's respecting it.
Or his hair care products.
Oh no, fuck yeah.
You're like an annoying college chick that goes to the Caribbean and comes back and thinks she has some deep
fucking-
understanding.
Wearing
of
some
life.
fucking beads.
I might put on like a shell necklace or something.
Cool. I like. All
Yeah.
right.
And then for Hoffman, my bond with Hoffman is wise old elf. You said you were like 80, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Wise old elf. Avery has come to rely on Hoffman's insight and knowledge to guide him when he is unsure. And I think I've been kind of doing that already. It just figured we should actually have a bond for it.
Makes sense.
Very cool. I like
Jeez.
that. I like that.
A plus.
A lot of stuff there. A lot of action. Matt, you
Yes.
got any tweaks you want to do there?
So, actually, similar to Jake, I'm going to be changing my flaw. It used to be dismissive of the strength of outsiders. I think over the course of this adventure so far, he's seen that they're all much stronger than he could have imagined they had been, with what Adric's gone through and just, you know, sheer amount of damage he's absorbed through all of this, and monsters he's put down. You know, Hoffman's ability to, you know, enhance his crossbow to make him more powerful and everybody else around him. And, you know, there's Avery. And then
His hair. Avery's hair.
yes.
Still so perfect. No split ends in this
Even
weather.
in the ice. Yeah, the wind is blowing. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't move.
Possible.
And I have bonds with everybody now as well. I think the only one that I'm changing is the one with Avery, and it's changing to necessary evil. Keeler understands that in order to kill the Arctogrim, he needs Avery, but he doesn't really trust his motives, with a lot of, you know, what he said and described about him and his people and how they live and that kind of stuff. Is he still knows that, or he still thinks that Avery has this superiority complex and like that, like white savior thing. He's coming in to save the day because we can't do it ourselves. And it's like, well, yeah, that's how it starts. And then all of a sudden you're telling me you're planting flags on my island and saying it's not mine anymore.
Nice. All right. So you had your Outsider's Oath bound with Dr. Hoffman, and then you took the bond that Adric had to you and kind of made that a joint bond, Conviction of a Warrior.
Yes.
Is that right? Cool. I like that. Okay. John?
Yeah. So I changed the bond I had with Avery because we're kind of further into this expedition, and I think he's still looking to try to justify, well, not justify, but help Avery with the cost of this expedition and making sure it's worth his while, so that in the future, if there is a future for us, they'll work together. And I think there's going to be a joint bond with Adric and Keeler, in that he wants to bring the two worlds together. He wants to be that like unifying force for those two. So I think with them, he wants to try to make sure that they get together and understand each other a bit better.
Got an old three-way on there.
A little three-way, yeah.
I like it.
And then the motivation I changed from being a world-renowned scholar. It's more focused now to really discover the truth behind what happened to the Elder Race and why is the Octogrim involved, and what happened there.
Cool. Your idea of what the Elder Race is has already slightly changed.
Yeah.
That whole experience out at the Great Shelf shed a light on a divine, possibly, or astrological, interest beyond anything you thought the Elder Race were really tied to in the past. So
Yep.
Neato.
Groovy. Dean.
So when I wrote this out I was largely brainstorming. So I'm going to kind of go through it a little bit and hopefully not bore people. But so in a nutshell, I'll just get to sort of how we named them. So in terms of merits and flaw, merit answers the bell, flaw, shifting faith. So to describe that a little bit, I was talking to Josh about this, and I say that basically saying like Adric's been profoundly affected by his consciousness transporting into another, the last session, to be frank, or the session before, however it lays out. But he's profoundly affected by his time in the North, to the point where, taking on the aspect of some animal and existing in that animal's headspace, even if it was a wacky ayahuasca trip, it has profoundly affected him. He's this knight who's always had this fear of the order slipping into oblivion, and a really big fear of becoming useless, but it really goes kind of beyond that. He's literally questioning the mission on the surface, like in his heart, which is restoring the order, which is, and the initial thought is this is a threat to the order and it must be destroyed. And hey, let's elevate the order in the process as it dwindles, which is just an existential threat to him. So now he does believe that evil should be vanquished still. He's still very lawful good at his core, but he might be losing sight of the order a little bit. And, the Dances with Wolf joke stands because he's kind of having this idea that the way he feels about things in the North is something he never even considered before. He just did what he was supposed to do because he thought it would bring glory to the thing it was supposed to bring glory to. And now he's realizing that might not necessarily be the way, and that these people who are sort of moving away from the order, maybe that's just the way it's supposed to be, and who am I to say? So he's in a real crisis of faith as far as that goes from his time in the North. He still has his spirituality. He's not renouncing the twins or anything, but he does also believe that the world has gotten much bigger from his time in the North. He's become a lot more open-minded, if that makes sense.
Cool.
And, confronting bad things with his conviction is what he wants to do. Like, that makes sense to him. And, it's very, again, existential for him, I guess.
So, I like that. What I would like to do is that everybody that replaced at least, I guess you all did, replace at least one of your core 4 starting things, or 3 besides the bonds, the motivation, merit, or flaw. I'm going to give one to each of you, put like a little check mark somewhere. Everyone can make one roll automatically a critical success. You have to decide it before you roll, and it doesn't have to be an attack, but essentially you can succeed with style.
Got it.
At one thing, and the rest of it will just be inspiration juice.
Cool.
For all the rest of these that come up. And so the other thing for magic items we talked about with the recovery of the Tathazine crystals, that Dr. Hoffman, using his artificer things. Normally you can only make 2 of those. We kind of just said that, all right, with these extra Tathazine crystals, you could do 2 per person. for the existing ones, and then we said, and an extra thing, which will be, kind of ambiguous, or we would give a mechanic to, but didn't have to be like a set magic item out of the book. So, John, what does it look like as you this happened some weeks in the past during the voyage or back at the shelf itself, but what did it look like when you imbued these things?
For weapons and the armor, both of them have these crystals embedded in parts of them. So, Adric, you have your sword for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So on the ends of the pommel, there are now two gem holders, basically, with the crystals inside. And for like your shield, there, or actually be on your armor, there's an encased gem like on the front of your armor that glows.
Nice.
when
Like
you're
Iron
bearing-
Man.
Yeah. And like on the pommel of your longsword, there's a gem for Avery's longsword, and like around your neck you have a necklace that is part of your armor that helps you. Same thing with Keeler's crossbow. In the hilt of it, or in the butt of the stock, there is the gem is inside a metal case, and it generates that arrow every time you fire.
Cool. Dope. All right, and we said I like that idea that why don't we make that around the table for the extra effect is just that imbued crystal on a necklace of some kind.
Yeah.
Jake, what kind of boost were you looking for?
So I was thinking Avery, gets by deceiving and stuff like that. So he's really scared about something that can read his thoughts and that he can't trick.
Okay.
I'm sure he's had conversations with Hoffman about that, and about his desire to protect his mind. So he wants a firewall.
Okay. So why don't we say that's in game terms advantage on any mind affecting
Sure
thing?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out when we come to it. Matt, how about for Keeler?
I think Keeler is similar to Avery in that respect. Maybe not so much on the insight things, but Keeler's not the smartest. He, runs around the fjords and mountains hunting, living in nature. He's not so good with, being tricked or believing people. And if this thing is able to affect your mind, like he doesn't want to get confused or anything like that trying to battle this thing.
All right. So maybe advantage on intelligence saves.
I'm down.
Call it that. All right. Dean for Sir Adric.
I think Sir Adric would probably prefer something to enhance his courage, to sort of, I guess you would say, personify the answers the bell. He doesn't want to answer the bell and then run away. So perhaps something to stave off fear.
Okay, I like that. We'll call that like same thing, I guess. Advantage on any saves versus fear-like effects.
Sounds good to me.
And John for
Mon
Dr.
ami.
Hoffman.
Hoffman, because of the conditions and the exhaustion he felt on the way to the meeting, he wants to protect himself from the elements going after the Octogrim. So
Okay, and you'd thrown this out to me ahead of game, and you had an effect in mind, right?
yeah, so basically something that would allow him to ignore the first level of exhaustion
I
if
like
he
it.
failed it.
I like it. Cool. So
Question on these items: are they a thing that we just sort of happened upon, or is this part of something he's that Hoffman has crafted?
Dr. Hoffman.
I think it'd be something that was crafted, some item, so maybe personal to you and Hoffman.
Cool.
Yeah, so like a charm that you would have on your person, either like around your wrist or around your neck or something like that.
Let me know what it is so I can try to strip it away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tattoo.
Okay.
I'll flay you. Don't make me flay you. Probably just like his traveling thing he wears over his big thing he wears over his cloak, I guess.
Maybe like the clasp on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. All right. So there we go. We caught up on our bookkeeping action there. Everybody's gained a level. Everybody's at 6th level now. And we got fucking magic items. We got new bonds.
This is D&D.
And we're in a cave. We're basically in a dungeon.
We are playing D&D, motherfuckers.
We're gonna go fight a dragon thing. Yeah, we're playing D&D.
All right. So, as a refresher, we are back in this cave. Not far into it. You're basically maybe 20, 30 feet into this. I mean, it's wide, maybe 50, 60 feet across and to the ceiling. Plenty of light. It's daytime outside. So you guys are pretty close to the entrance, lights pouring in, and the sound of stones being, kicked and rattling and echoing had started when you walked in here, and then built and realized it was coming from all around you, and literally from the floors, from the walls in front of you, behind you, assembled these forms, vaguely humanoid, but essentially just a mass with arms and legs, made mostly of stone with elements of bone, a lot of it almost just powdered. So this white grayish forms start moving towards you, have essentially immediately surrounded you. And let's roll initiative.
God damn it. 19 for Keeler.
Is that 20, Jake?
No, it's a 12. A 15 for Avery.
Oh, so he's not cheating too hard. He doesn't want to make it obvious.
Everything's going to be the high teens.
All right.
The Bone Stone Daddy's got a 15.
Bone Stone Daddies? Nice.
Is the Dex the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
I got a
BSD?
16. I probably have.
I have a
Do you beat him -1?
Yeah.
I have a 2.
I had a 15 as well, actually.
Who has the higher dex between Hoffman and Avery?
I have a 16.
You do then.
Okay, so Keeler with 19, you can start off. I don't know. You guys are, I don't know if you're in a line, you're kind of abreast. Just kind of consider you guys in a group, and there are 6 of these things in every direction. They're all within about 20, 30 feet of you.
Oh boy.
There's some behind us.
Yes.
I will I would assume I would have been in the front of the group as we entered into this cave. So I'll rotate to the back, and as I do, I'll say, I'll watch the rear, cover the front.
There are 2 to the rear.
Okay. I will cast Hunter's Mark on the one to the right and take 2 shots.
You may fire when ready.
First is an 18.
That is a hit.
And second, 22.
Hit as well.
I'm sorry. Where are our hit points? Are we still banged up?
Okay, for hit points, you guys were totally restored, but I think you've taken a little bit of cold damage, just the 2 of you that didn't take the frostbane.
That's me. Okay.
So your wound points, that's back to full. That old condition you had, Dean, that Adric had, is gone.
Does 13 cold damage sound excessive? Because I have 13 less my max.
Boy, I wish I had listened to that.
That's fine. I'll leave it at 13.
It does sound... Matt, what do you have? Do you have any HP damage?
I do not. Oh, actually, no. You know what? I am down 6 hit points.
Okay, how much damage were those 2, Keeler?
31 total.
Fuck. God damn.
Woof.
Okay. These bolts streak out of your enhanced crossbow with a flare, almost. What color light do you think you want them to be, Matt? These enhanced magical bolts. You got a color in mind?
I'd say when it's in the crossbow, there's an icy blue glow. And then as it releases and travels, it progresses from that icy blue to like that orangey red magma color.
Ooh, I like it. Fire and ice.
Yeah, baby.
All right. And they hit hard into these things. You see chunks of stone just breaking free. This hulking thing staggers back. They're about probably 6-7 feet tall, but with no head. It's almost it's a bigger form than the human. You know, you stick a head on that thing, and it's probably over 8 feet tall. Avery Hoffman, you're tied, but Avery with the tiebreaker. Go ahead.
So paint this picture for me. 2 behind us, 4 in front of us.
2 in front, 2 behind, 1 to each side.
Okay.
Wide, 50, 60 foot wide, kind of round-ish cavern, tunnel slash cavern heading down into this thing.
I think, Avery is going to, he's got his sword and his shield out, but he wouldn't just run up to them. He's going to kind of wait, step in front of Hoffman and wait for them to approach and then attack them when they get closer.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Not great. 8.
Okay. There's 6 of them. I was giving you a bonus roll because you have that little ability thing.
Yeah.
They look like crazy, scary stone things.
Sure. Okay. D&D is so clunky. Like, I guess I'm holding my initiative until they go.
You want to attack when they approach?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all you got to say.
Okay.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hold your action, and then you can also make a move and then hold your action, and then your action becomes your reaction whenever it comes up.
It doesn't. It seems silly to charge out of the group. I would imagine we'd kind of circle up and we'd wait for these things to come to us. So.
Yeah.
Butt to butt.
Yeah.
Okay, Avery, you hold your action. Hoffman.
How close are there any of that are grouped up together?
They're all spread out pretty evenly.
Okay.
They're completely circling you.
Okay.
Encircling?
Encircling? Ensnaring? Yeah. Hoffman reaches into his pack and pulls out this flask and throws it into the area of one of the monsters kind of far out.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Grease on him.
Ooh.
Grease lightning. And it's a 10-foot square centered on the point. So basically in front of him, 10 feet. And,
Okay.
On the edge of where he's standing and then in front. He has to make a dex save.
Okay. Not a great stat for the Bone Stone Daddies. As soon as when he walks into it.
No, as soon as he gets hit by it. DC 14.
Okay, so a 9 doesn't pass.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
They falls prone.
All right.
And it's difficult ground to walk through.
You feel, all of you kind of feel like a rumble as this, it probably weighs half a ton at least. This creature starts to approach and it just, stone skitters out and it slams down into the ground ahead of you. And that is the rest of the Bone Stone Daddies. So one of them is going to, he kind of flounders that one, flounders in this greasy mess of a stone floor, kind of dragging himself, pieces of stone chipping off him, and the others advance all around you. So we'll say the back 2 both go at you, Keeler. What's your armor class?
16.
Okay. They advance. Avery, you can make your attack as one of them comes right up to you.
Okay. Looking around at the other ones, does it look like there were 3 others up front? How many are going after Hoffman?
How are you guys positioned?
I would imagine we're back to back, kind of like in a circle, like, the scary ghosts at camp. We're all like...
All right, so Hoffman's in the middle. 2 of them are going after each of you except Hoffman.
Okay. Yeah, and then as they get closer, I take a swing at him.
Go ahead.
Nice.
That's a 19. You can see it. Plus a bunch. 26.
Okay.
All right.
Yet.
Tick yet.
Anything that ends its turn in the grease or moves into the grease has to make a dex save or falls.
Okay.
Right on.
15 damage.
15.
Yeah. Sorry, it took me a while to read these dice, and they've got weird symbols on them. Okay.
Okay. Christmas was a while ago, bro.
Yeah, I just found them.
Okay, and give me another perception check, Jake. And your armor class for Avery?
21 armor class and an 18 on the perception check.
Damn player.
Adric's armor class?
21.
Okay.
Built as a tanky as he is. Nice.
How many crits?
Okay, so they all advance except for 2. One that is floundering, dragging itself across the floor, and then the one that Keeler struck, it was kind of pushed back, chunks fell off of it, Jake, you see it. It kind of drops down towards the ground. If it's these 4 appendages, if they're arms and legs, it puts all 4 on the ground and it kind of just holds there. And then you think you see pieces of bone and stone coming up off the ground and sort of adding back onto it. And it seems to be holding there as it's almost reforming.
Okay.
The others advanced and attacked. Dean, you take 11 plus 4 cold damage.
Okay. So 15 total.
Yes. And Matt, you the two advance in the rear towards you. I'm sorry, one of them advances towards you. The other one, as I described, is down on the ground. That one does strike you. You take 14 regular damage plus 7 cold damage, so a total of 21.
Ew.
You guys do not have your frostbane.
Did my guys miss?
Yes.
Nice.
Both of them. You got one with a shield ducked under the other one.
What does cold damage do?
It doesn't do anything different.
Okay.
It's a different descriptor.
resistance.
Understood.
So like if you have the frostbane, you have resistance to it. You do feel as the
Icy tendrils of
fist,
death.
the end of this thing smashes into you, you feel like just unbelievable cold, like heat being sucked out of your body.
I'd imagine taking it on the shield, but then his arm just starts feeling frozen. That's cool.
I hit this one with my sword, and then I kind of look over my shoulder and I see what the other one is doing, and I say, I yell, "They're rebuilding themselves. Concentrate your attacks."
It seems like it's taking time. Sir Adric.
I will concentrate my attack. I will listen
Okay.
to young Master Avery.
The two nearest you have not been struck. You would have to kind of move towards a different one and potentially open yourself up to a.
Then I will not definitely do that. Definitely don't want to do that. All right, I will. And I just want to say right now, people probably know who Dan is on this feed. If these dice fail me, I'm fighting Dan because he put everything away. I had my dice out nice, and he came in and cleaned like everyone's mommy. And I don't see my dice anywhere. So, Dan, I already rolled 1 on initiative, so we might be fighting sometime.
Well,
next
it'll
month.
be a welcome change from the other. Every roll's a 19 over here. No kidding.
That's true. That was my con saves last time. I was like, wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack the nearest one. And I guess the one that's harming me would make the most sense. So here we are with some new bonuses. 5. So 12.
To hit, clanks off its stony carapace.
Damn!
Not actually stony carapace. It just clanks off its stony self.
I get 2 attacks as is, right?
You do.
Aha! Critical.
Ooh.
That's good.
There you go.
26. I'll take that. 26 with a long sword. So I'm going to roll this twice. Here we go. 7 plus 3. I have savage attack. I'm going to re-roll that 3. 7, 14,
Plus
4, 18.
Okay. Chink. Love it.
So that was 2 attacks. I use my savage attack, which I guess I can do once per turn. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, and I might as well concentrate my attacks.
Okay.
And I'll do my action surge.
Surgeon?
I'm going to surge it real hard right now.
You don't want to surge too early. Sometimes it's a problem.
Yeah, well, maybe I got to get to work, so I don't know what to fucking tell you. So here we go.
Apparently, you're not worried about the monster's enjoyment.
You can say that again. 7, 9.
To hit?
Yeah. And then 17.
That 17 strikes.
17 strikes true.
It does.
Aha! In that case, take another 6, horrible monster.
Okay. Back up to the top. So 4 of them are now around you. 2 on Adric.
Yeah, 2 on Adric, 2 on Avery.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 on Adric.
Yeah, because the other one's
2 on Avery. 1 on Keeler. 1 is floundering to get to you, and 1 is bent over, seeming to be recharging itself. And back up to the top, Keeler.
To disengage is an action, right? So I wouldn't be able to not provoke an attack of opportunity and make an attack, correct?
Correct.
So I will. That freaking hurt. I am going to reload my crossbow. And as I do, yell, "Don't let them hit you. It is like a Arctic storm." And take 2 attacks on the one right in my maw.
Okay.
That's a hit and a 15.
The 15 just doesn't quite penetrate.
All right, so 1 hits. And that is no hunter's mark. Oh, minimum damage. So 5. Nope, 6 because I have the +1. So 6 damage to the
Okay.
one in front of me.
All right. Avery.
All right, Avery is going to use a cool new movie he's got called Bait and Switch. I am going to, as a move action, switch places with Aedric.
Cool.
So I don't know how that works. Magic? I mean, we teleport? I don't know.
No, you're tactically proficient. You're 2 warriors. You're pretty close to each other. And let's say you kind of move yourself, and you guys essentially end up facing the opposite foes after this.
So now Aedric is facing off with 2. I'm facing off with the one that he's almost finished. And Aedric, until my next turn, adds a D8 to his armor class. So I'll roll that now.
Wow.
3.
Nice.
And then I'm going to...
That's awesome.
And then I'm going to strike at the one that he already hurt pretty badly.
Okay.
Look, John. Confirm that is a 20. Okay.
I sort of.
Nice. Sorta. All right. 14 damage.
Okay. It is.
I'll surge. I'll surge it up.
That's with the +1 damage you're getting from me.
Yeah, for enhancing the weapon, you mean? Yeah. All right, that's a 22 to hit, so 8 damage on the second attack.
Okay. You.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Wait, no, I'm the only one engaging this one.
Yes, if you swap places.
So yeah, no sneak attack.
All right. So Avery, kind of parries and then almost acrobatically rolls in front of Avery, in front of Aedric, and comes up under this hulking stone thing, and just this blade somehow enhanced with the magic of the Tathazine, it just pierces through pure stone, and the final thrust, the whole thing just crashes to the ground in a mound of stone and bone. And that is Huffman.
So around us, so one is down right now.
Yes, one is down, one is reconstituting, and one is in your little grease pit.
Hoffman unlatches his crossbow and wheels it around to the one that's recharging, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt at it.
Cool.
Let's roll the dice. Nope, he's not gonna cast Firebolt. He's rolled a 1. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it just goes whizzing out the entrance of the cave.
So you actually find, as you aim at this and unleash it, as it gets close to the thing, it looks like it might be passing over the top of it anyway, but you see that it's actually extinguished as it gets close to this thing.
Cool.
Okay, that's
That's my turn.
the BLs. This thing heals 8d6.
I'm sorry, what?
That is the reconstituting. If you did
Wow.
any damage, it wouldn't have healed at all.
Oh.
Oh,
I tried to kind of
keep it. You got to keep it up.
tip that.
Well, that's why we just
No,
keep,
no, not the one you took down. The one that
I hit
so
originally.
it's spent a whole turn, a full round action.
Yep.
So you notice this one. It's as you guys have been fighting. It's been down on all fours. More stone kind of coming back onto it, and then it stands back up, looming as large as ever.
Yeah. So, like I said, concentrate our fire.
Yes,
Right.
on
Yeah.
Superstar.
And I was the only one who shot it.
Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got their own problems.
Yeah, we all got problems going on here.
Okay. Dean, what is Aedric's current armor class right now?
Oh, it's up there, pal. 24.
Okay.
Okay.
Man.
24.
What?
He's harder
if
to
I
hit
could-
than Lancelot.
We could have got you up to a 29 if I rolled an 8.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so hot. I know how we're fighting Arctic Rim.
Keep switching, please.
Keeler, your armor class?
Gotcha.
16.
Okay. That is a hit. 11 and 9 cold. 20 total.
Oh, boy.
Avery, that is 18 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. All right. And the other one does plot its way forward, and it's going to go after, probably get to Avery easier. Actually, let's say there's kind of a path open with you two engaged, and it wades straight in, and it goes for Dr. Hoffman. 16 to hit?
That just hits. Yeah.
Just hits.
Yeah.
Okay. So 12 regular damage.
Yeah. I'm cold resist.
Okay. You take 4 cold.
Okay.
The way I'm playing this Frostbane, you're basically immune to atmospheric cold, like, overtime cold, and you have resistance. So you take half from like actual like cold damage.
What was the
Cool,
total?
that makes sense.
What was the total damage? Sorry.
Fuck.
4
16.
cold. Sorry, 16.
16. Okay. So the one in the back wails on Keeler again. Keeler, maybe not looking super great.
No. Keeler is looking booked up.
Are you into HP yet, or wound points?
No,
rather?
I have 9 hit points left.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Avery and Adric are standing pretty tall, and then one has finally advanced in from the grease pit and gotten right after
Covered
Hoffman.
in grease.
I just fucking hate. I can't think of another way to describe it. It's not a grease pit, but it's a grease pit.
It's pretty much a grease
And
pit,
this
yeah.
the last one comes in and swings at Keeler too, but loops over his head. And it is Adric.
All right. Well, as we are working in concert, I'm going to, first things first, we're going to do a second wind,
Okay.
okay? And that means we're going to get 1d10 plus my fighter level, which is 6. So hopefully this goes well. 10. 16 back.
10. Okay.
I'll take it. I really need that. So, we'll get to that math in a second. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to...
Remember, you guys do have those Frostbanes you haven't taken.
I just used... his second wind a bonus action.
Bonus.
Is Frost wind a free action?
Frostbane, I'd say it's a move.
I
It's
will
a
take it.
Move. You guys definitely have them at the ready, since the other
Makes
two already
sense.
took it, and you knew that you were just kind of trying to hold on. So Matt, same thing for Keeler. If you get to a point you do want to use that Frostbane, it'll be a move action.
Is it one use gone?
Yes.
I'm not going to use it.
Okay. You were told to be good for half a day.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Got it. So I guess I would just continue to... We have to concentrate on whatever one is the most damaged.
I think you're squaring off with 2, and
Yes.
I had damaged
One
of
is
the
damaged.
2 I had
Correct.
hit.
Then that's the one we're going for. So here goes nothing. Haha. A 22.
Definite hit.
The damage on that would be 11.
Okay. Another big chunk comes off of it.
Step in, thrust. Aha. Excellent. That definitely hits. And then a 5 damage on that one.
Few more flecks of stone coming off of it, and up the top around Keeler.
Once per round, savage attack.
Oh, okay. That's a reroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it 9.
Okay, 4 more. It stumbles and staggers. Half of one of its, what you would call a leg, kind of gives way, and it just sort of like drops to the ground. Like imagine cutting someone's leg off at the knee, but it's not really part of their body. So now they're just kind of uneven coming at you.
Got it.
Keeler.
Very cool.
All right, so I hear what the DM is saying, but I also like to roll on the random loot table as opposed to pre-assigned DM loot. So, I'm going to take 2 attacks at the guy in front of me.
There's 2 in front of you, by the way.
Oh.
The other one waded in after you.
All right, well, see you later, boys.
I too like to live dangerously.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, so I'll use my first shot at the one that hit me.
Okay,
That's a 24 to hit.
that is a definite hit.
Much better. That's 13 damage.
Okay, this is the one that hit you is not the one you have Hunter's Mark on.
Correct. I rolled a 9
Okay.
on my D10
Okay.
for that, so that was nice.
Very nice.
And I will take my second shot at the one that I have Hunter's marked.
Okay.
It's a natural 16 again, so a hit. 14 damage.
Okay. All right. You did not concentrate your fire, but you fucked up both of them a little bit.
They're not in like recharge pose though, right?
They're not.
Okay.
They're not. They're looking. They're not in. They're not in downward dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Avery.
We're back at top. Okay. Avery is a little torn. He looks back towards Keeler. And am I within melee range of the one that
Sorry, and P.S. Not to meditate too much, but I mean, be aware if you guys don't get what you need into safety in half of a day, then your companions are probably dead because they already took theirs.
right.
So I'll just tip
yeah.
that.
So
tip that hat.
take the frost.
Not gonna tell you.
Am I within melee?
thoughts about not taking this. An inspiration from beyond the pale.
From where I am, you can break up your movement in this. From where I am, can I strike the one Adric beat the hell out of?
Why don't you give me a? Do you have athletics or acrobatics?
I have a lot of acrobatics.
Okay, give me a DC 15. You can attack it either way, but if you fail, you're going to get a attack of opportunity.
Okay.
So I'll call it kind of like a tumble. You got to sort of move.
All right.
With
so
this thing.
Just so you know what my plan is, I'm gonna start my move, get to where I can attack it. I'm gonna use my attack, and then I'm gonna, no, I'm sorry, that won't work. If I can't attack it from where I am, then I won't. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use cunning action to disengage.
Okay.
From this fight. So I back up behind Hoffman. Carefully, as I'm defending myself. That's a rogue extra action.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna use my move action to switch places with Keeler.
Okay. You can do that thing every round?
It uses a superiority dice.
Oh,
Fittingly named. So I get 4 of those, and then I need a rest.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna disengage
Nice.
to a safe spot, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna basically grab Keeler by the back and kind of do like a spin and spin him around behind me.
Nice.
And then shields up against these two that are in the rear.
That's a nice moment. Camera
Yeah.
kind of, you two lock eyes with a little grudging respect. Hoffman is not.
By the way, his hair is flowing beautifully when he does it.
Hoffman is not completely safe because one did get into the center of that, but safer.
But better that it be
Yep.
Keeler and Hoffman against one than just Keeler against 2.
All right, so you're in the rear now.
And I still am. I'm going to attack the one that he was engaged with, that I'm now engaged with.
He was engaged with 2. So
He
you
was,
got 2.
okay.
They're both looking chipped up.
Yep. So I'll swing on one of those.
Okay.
I need my magnifying glass.
Jesus Christ,
That's a
dude.
2 I miss. Okay.
All right. Still an effective round. Hoffman.
Is Keeler within? Oh no, never mind. It's not touch. So I'm gonna cast healing word on Keeler.
Word.
He's
Word.
now right next to you.
What is the healing
Yeah.
word?
Bird.
Oh.
Bird is the word.
And I'm adding the to my armor class. I can pick him or me. So now
Okay.
that I'm engaged, so
Damn.
that's an 8.
Fucking silly.
Yeah, it's a little hard to read.
11 hit points back for you, Keeler.
Ooh, that's nice.
And
That's a bonus action, that sucker?
yeah,
All right.
and then he's in melee with me, so I'm gonna just take out my dagger and swipe at him.
Okay. This guy looks untouched.
Yeah.
Pure fresh stone.
We're doing so bad. We've attacked 4 different ones.
That's a 15 to hit.
Okay.
The hit.
Just clinks off.
Okay.
AC 16.
Okay.
They're made of stone. They're very hard. They're not hard to make contact with, right? These things are pretty slow and lumbering.
Yeah.
But stone is stone. Okay, that's the baddies.
I'm after the baddies, right?
You are
I
after,
rolled a
yep.
1. So
I'm not the baddies. I'm not saying they're bad. The bone stone daddies. Okay. So 2 going on Avery. Avery, your armor class right now?
29.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
I just rolled a 19 and a 20.
rock me, Amadeus.
What?
But the 19 doesn't hit.
Oh God. Thank
But the 20 does.
you.
Is that still like? I think it's silly when only 20 can
I
hit
know.
and it's a crit anyway.
That's funny. Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
roll
silly.
it again, and
There's no rule for that, huh? Or
I'm gonna roll it again with an extra +10 to hit.
to,
Okay, and it's got to hit to confirm.
To hit, yeah.
Oh yeah, confirm. That's,
So
what
that's-
it was.
28.
It's a miss.
Okay, so it's a hit. Just
Yeah, a
regular
hit, but not a crit.
It just
Okay.
is kind of silly when like
It is,
the
yeah.
only hit you can do.
The
is a
only
crit.
way you can hit the dragon is to crit it. Yeah.
Oh,
Minimum damage.
minimum damage. You took your frostbane.
I did.
Okay, then you take a total of 10.
10? Okay.
That's it.
Did you take your vitamins?
Did you take your Avery? Did you take your frostbane today?
Well, that honestly, that move probably saved my life because that would have been a crit and a hit.
Oh yeah,
Saved
Yeah,
my
yeah.
life.
or yeah, also
And
save
his,
Keeler's life.
yeah.
Keeler's fucking
yeah, totally.
gone.
Yeah, there's a chance I would have been like perma-dead.
Oh, Hoffman is gonna make a contact. Okay. Good thing you have the frostbane. So you take. All right, Hoffman. The one in the center hammers down. The stone just pounds into your shoulder and head, and you take a total of 17. That's regular plus cold with a reduction.
Neat.
Is it neat?
Yeah, it's real neat.
Let me know if anybody gets through their HP. By the way, that's a little piece of info for the DM, so I can make sure to finish you off.
Describe the, hacking attacks that take off limbs.
So, so two of them take swings at you, Avery. One of them just barely. It basically you get your shield up and it just hammers you down into the ground of the cave. Doesn't make contact, just through the shield down into your arm into the ground. And
dropping boulders on my shield.
one next to Avery the one next to Adric, one of them, it's sort of the other one just kind of hulks in, swoops over your head. You block it pretty easily. And then you look up and the other is now just beyond it and you see it drop down onto the cavern floor, stones starting to form back up alongside of it.
It's in regen mode.
Yep.
That was the one that you almost killed.
And it is you, Adric.
I'm going to try to kill that thing
Okay.
so we can make some leeway here. All right. I hope the twins have me on this one. I'm going to go in there, savage, overhead, finish. 2. That's a 9. Let's try again. That was the feint.
It's very savage.
That's good. 18 plus 7, so by
Okay.
a mile. Okay, so the damage done here is a 6, which I'll keep, plus 4, 10. 10
Okay.
damage.
Adric, you step up as this one drops down onto the cavern
Say, oh,
floor.
no.
And you slam down once and you kind of get twisted. The flat of the blade hits it. You come back again and the stone just kind of breaks in half and two giant piles rest still at the floor. Back up to the top, Keeler. So there are two in the back engaged with Avery, one engaged with Adric up front, and one in the center right next to Keeler and Hoffman.
Okay, so I am going to turn towards the two that are facing Avery, and the one that I cast Hunter's Mark on, I'm going to use both of my attacks on that one.
Ooh, baby.
Yes, that's a hit. That's also a hit.
Keeler turns and does some Legolas shit. past,
2 arrows. Yeah.
You're like Gimli, but completely different.
Licks the feather.
28 damage total.
Okay.
He's actually like Gimli, and I'm like Legolas. Honestly.
Yeah, I guess so. Except for the weapons.
Yeah.
Just on hair alone.
Two of these bolts, searing orange as they pass over your shoulder, slam into one of these you're facing, Avery, and it just explodes, and the stone tumbles back and scatters across the cavern. And it is Avery. You're up.
All right, Avery's going to second wind. So I'm going to get back I rolled an 8 plus 3, so he gets all the hit points he lost.
Okay.
And then I need you to do a, this is an opposed check. So it's, you make a deception check against my insight. And if I win, then
A deception.
That bone tatty's a real
Yeah.
They
deceptive.
actually have expertise in deception. Fuck you. Oh, he rolled a 19. He's so stinky.
He beat me.
Well, he's got a -3 to charisma. So 16.
I also got a 16.
Reroll.
Roll off.
Reroll. Okay.
5.
24.
Congratulations.
All right.
You
So
fooled the fucking stone guy.
I'm learning its patterns and movements, and this allows me to backstab when I don't have a buddy around.
Nice.
Oh, that's another 20. Look.
These dice are incredible.
I can't read from
Step 1, make the smallest dice possible. Step 2, spend a few hours on the Reddit boards optimizing this build.
I did all of a sudden get like
I
a
thought
million
Dan
abilities.
wasn't in this campaign.
Cool. This is going to take a minute. I'm sorry.
I'll just put in some fucking music here.
That's a weird symbol. All right.
And now back to your regularly scheduled
Take
program.
away a point of inspiration for having tiny dice and one of each. You know what? No, I'm taking the DM's taking a point of
Oh
inspiration.
no!
29 damage.
Holy shit!
Wow. It's a crit with a
I'm
backstab.
pretty sure
bro.
that means Josh has to literally slap himself in real life.
Okay, Avery, you step. This thing it's pretty predictable in its motions. It's just so powerful. But you let yourself get under it, and you basically launch off the ground and just drive this court blade all the way through. And the whatever energy is part of this just fades as it swings, and the momentum of its own arm sends the stone scattering across and kind of kicks over the floor towards Keeler and Hoffman. And it is Hoffman's turn.
Okay. Hoffman is going to disengage and spend my move moving past the grease that he laid down before.
Okay,
So I'm going to get around behind where the grease is.
got it.
And I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself.
All right,
Handy.
Adric, your armor class, it's a 22 hit.
I have a 21 unless I still have that bonus.
No, that was just till the end of the turn.
And Keeler 12 does not hit you. Is that correct?
Nope.
Okay,
You had a 20 and you needed a 21, huh?
I hit a 22.
Oh, you hit me. Okay.
It is 17 total.
Word.
Regular and cold. Just really don't want to take that vaccine, huh? Hey man, just take it. You know, you'll be fine. You'll be able to move down the cavern freely.
I can go to the tavern again.
Okay, and the other one swings at you, Keeler. You duck right under it. You're kind of alone with this one in the middle, but Avery's right behind you. Looks like he's probably about to flank it. And it is Adric.
I
The
take the
two that are
fucking
remaining
stupid
seem
shit.
unblemished.
As it appears, fate is working against me, i.e. the dungeon master. I take my juice. I put my dumb juice on.
Trying to help you, man.
Does it heal me?
No,
Oh.
you know, good.
This game sucks,
Four
then.
hits ago would have been
All right. I'm
8d6 of cold damage ago.
I love it. All right, let's go ahead and keep working this damn banged up bone daddy.
Okay.
I slather the grease on, hope I don't drop my sword, and I wade in with a 14.
Cling.
Dan's in big trouble. And a 13.
Chink clink. Seems to just it's these blades are enhanced, but even with that, you just have to hit it quite perfectly to break through.
Dean's going to the Crown Royal bag to find a new D20.
What percentage of gaming groups do you think have a Crown Royal bag with dice in it?
65.
Wow, that's very high.
I might be over, but well, it depends on how old they are.
True. Although I feel like we had that when we were like 15 for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's like an old school thing.
Okay, Keeler, top of the round.
I will use my bonus action to transfer my hunter's mark to this one in front of me.
Very nice.
And we'll say sort of you see wisps of smoke come up off of that one that I that exploded before, and they kind of coalesce around this new one, and I will put 2 in him. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Ooh.
And
No
an
one
11
questions
to
it.
hit.
I can hear. I can't even hear the one in front of me. There's no weight to it. As he sits there and picks up one tiny D6 and rolls it over and over and over again. How dare you, sir?
And it's got a weird symbol for a 6. I feel like usually the weird symbols are 1s,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Go either way.
That is 21 damage.
21. That's just from the one?
Yeah,
crit?
that's the crit.
Nice. Okay. Big chunk of shoulder, rock shoulder just comes flying off. Avery.
So I'm kind of right behind that one now, right?
Yep.
I move in and swipe at it.
Little Legolas Gimli double team.
Yeah, 17 plus 7, so
do it.
that's going to hit. Wow, good roll. 23.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Okay. This one had not been touched, and yet just 2 blows, this empowered bolt takes a huge chunk of its shoulder off. And it kind of swings. It makes this. There's no mouth. It just has this grating noise as it turns. And Avery, you come over the top of it, and this exposed chunk, you just drive again this blade down into the center of it, and this enchanted stone becomes, just mundane and scatters across the floor, and just 1 remains. Dr. Hoffman.
I'll level my crossbow at that one that's remaining and take a shot. 15. No.
Just.
I've done literally nothing this entire fight.
You healed us.
I healed. Yeah, I healed Keeler.
Adric, make a attack of opportunity.
My pleasure. I see an opening. 17.
All right, that'll do it.
Hey!
17.
This is the one that emerged from that grease, and it kind of swings, and the stone you hear the stone grates on itself, and it kind of staggers awkwardly towards the ground. 8. Take advantage and drive a poke in, and it is your action.
We catch him coming in off balance. He tipped his hand. We're gonna go the attack sinister here, pal. 19.
That'll do you.
10 damage.
Boom.
22 hit.
Yep.
Gonna reroll. 7.
You know what? Just finish this thing off.
Adric's been going bonks. I did?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Outstanding. So with his sword hand true, I would imagine that mostly thrusting. It doesn't seem like slashing at stone works very well. So any type of opening that is presented, he's driving repeated savage attack stabs.
Nice.
Imagining the aspect of the various beasts he considered when he's running around as a wolf in the woods.
Love it.
Thrusts.
The stone finally clatters apart, and suddenly all is still, but the heavy breathing from the 4 of you, your breath coalescing into these foggy clouds in front of your face as you breathe deep.
Is it done?
Is that all of them?
Adric whirls around looking.
Silence. Just the echoes of your boots as you turn in circles looking around this cavern.
I looked towards Keeler because it looked like he had taken a bit of a slap around there.
You all look pretty bruised and beat up, but it appears none of you all managed to avoid serious injury. Right? Nobody got down into wound points?
No.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm at full. I'm full, baby.
You didn't get hit once?
I got hit once, but
Oh,
then
you get
second winded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hoffman immediately, once we've kind of realized there's none around, he runs over to a pile of one that was just recently animated and kind of rifles through it, looking for anything that held them together or makes any sense.
Give me a Arcana check.
Avery's kind of doing a kill check. He's kicking the pile of rocks around
Okay.
to make sure they don't regrow.
Yeah, not good. 15. No, not 15. Jeez. 12.
You're pretty sure that whatever powered these, it is not a type of magic that you are familiar with. It is not the magic of the Tathazine crystals, not the magic of the elves. There's nothing in this pile that is not stone or far from life bone.
I don't see anything. No crystal. I've never seen anything like this. What?
Did your stories say Arctogrim could do this?
No. I've never heard of these constructs.
This is the curse that they spoke of on this island. This is why no one returns.
Yes, I don't think it's Octogrim. I think it is this place. You can feel it in the cold. This place is unnatural.
You guys look around.
I show them my shield. I say, look, I'm just covered in frost.
You look at these piles of stone, and you take a moment to contemplate and realize, really all four of you come to the realization that, the battle that you just fought was a different group than the one that first drew steel a month ago. Think about the coordination, the skill to take down 6 mighty, unnatural foes.
So as we're talking about this, Keeler is gonna reach into his pouch and pull out a few different herbs. And as he's walking around collecting his crossbow bolts on what he can find from these things, he's casting Cure Wounds on himself.
Dope.
That sounds new.
Adric says to pulls Avery aside and just says, impressive maneuvering out there, Avery. Very impressive.
Yes, you saved my life.
We're finally working together instead of just as 4 individuals. I feel like I know how each of you fights now. This is how we'll beat Octogrim. I gesture to all the rubble. I say, this is the sort of things they read stories about.
You're Henry's brother, no doubt.
The darkness below yawns before you. The light of this cavern opening, some 30, 40 feet behind you, it illuminates a bit ahead. You can see this tunnel kind of slowly descend and turn, and you lose sight. Maybe another 100 feet in is just darkness.
That was just 13 hit points healed for me. And as we start moving through, I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on us as we start making our way through.
Are you guys continuing to move down?
Do we go further in?
I think we have no choice. We don't have long before our frostbane wears off. I can't imagine how you two are even withstanding this right now.
I put it on in the midst of the fight.
Oh. Keeler, you?
I will survive, but it aches to my bones.
We press on then. I kind of look around at everyone pretty banged up, and I say, let me take point for a moment.
Well, Adric will most likely have to take point with his sword.
Shirok.
The light.
Oh. Is it glowing right now? Is it always glowing?
No,
or?
he turns it on and off.
Fucking Beadric.
So,
Or
do you
Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah.
It starts glowing?
Yep.
Or, yeah. So is it like fire, or is it just like...
I think it's just a eerie blue light kind of emanating from the crossguard and from the blade itself.
Okay. The 4 of you start to move down this cavern. Keeler's gifts enable you to be almost silent.
If it matters, real quick, and I'm sorry, but I'm at half my hit points, so if the healing, I'm not into wound points. I don't know if there's any healing options out there, but if there are, I'm not going to be too shy to ask for them.
I could throw you a word.
Throw me a word.
The pale light.
What's the word?
Bird.
Sorry.
The pale light of Adric's sword illuminates the tunnel as it curves down ahead of you. Did everybody take Matt, did Keeler take the frostbane?
Yeah, he probably washed down his pumice of herbs and
Okay.
everything with it.
Okay. As you descend, you can feel the temperature dropping even more. Your bodies are numb. It's part of the sensation of this frostbane, numbed to a degree to the cold, but you can feel it. The sting in every inhale and exhale, heavy blinks of your eyelids as you wind your way down deeper and deeper. An indeterminate amount of time passes, 20 minutes, an hour. It seems that this passage just never ends, sort of just slowly keeping curving and going down. And finally, ahead of you, the light you see, instead of this kind of fairly natural broken cavern or winding tunnel floor, you see the light reflect across a smooth surface. And you come down to the bottom and you open into a massive chamber. The light doesn't even begin to illuminate the far side. The floor is almost perfectly smooth, blackish gray, extending with a bit of a sheen.
Is it ice?
It's not ice.
Okay.
It's not ice. It's something, some probably kind of stone or mineral. It is definitely strangely smooth. And the light scatters across it and seems to light up more of this chamber, and yet not all the way. In the extreme of the distance, maybe a few hundred feet, you think you see a lone figure, a lone shape in the light ahead of this just flat extending across. To your sides, the tunnel opens and you see kind of rough rock walls looking fairly natural, and then just this floor extending ahead of you.
I point in the direction of the shape without saying anything.
I kind of check my footing on the floor. Does it feel slippery?
It's not slippery.
Okay.
It's almost like tile in a sense, like almost like walking across granite.
I take a few steps and I say, Dr. Hoffman, what is it? The floor, it's like a polished marble, but natural?
Give me a nature check, Dr. Hoffman.
I'm going to use a different dice because I haven't been rolling very well. A little bit better. 17.
You believe it's natural in a sense, but it's almost unnatural how smooth it is. It seems like flash frozen molten earth.
It looks like
basically a liquid that was
on. Yeah,
Super cool.
it looks like some sort of liquid that was frozen in this place, in this shape. Whatever it wasn't done by tools. At least not tools we possess.
I'm still. I think we're all still walking, right? I say the cold here. I can feel it even through the potion.
Same.
growing stronger. So you guys are walking forward.
Yeah.
You feel with each step, your feet almost have to break free of the ground. There's an oppressive weight. It almost feels like if you were underwater. It's so cold that it just feels like it's pressing against your body. Even though this frostbane is keeping you alive, keeping your tissue from being damaged, it's an assault on your body as you continue to move forward. And finally, Sir Adric's light illuminates a large mound of some kind and the unmistakable silhouette of a man in armor.
Like standing?
Standing. Still, I mean, I can't make out details 100 feet away. Just a silhouette.
This may be power of the ice elves. They live in the cold. They can wield magic. Perhaps one is protecting this island for some reason. The shield? Hoffman shrugs.
Maybe.
Or perhaps a knight who was not lucky enough to have the frostbane that we have
Indeed.
frozen in place.
We approach.
Hello! Adric just says it into the cavern. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Come, if you will.
I kind of jump.
A voice
when he
echoes
talks.
back.
None shall pass.
It's the friggin'
We have the knights who say knee.
it's the guy in Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Keeler's gonna have his crossbow in his hands as after that voice shouts out.
I start walking forward.
All right. Adric's the first to walk forward. The rest of you follow alongside and behind him, moving forward, and this light spilling across soon lights up the scene pretty clearly. The only thing that breaks up this seeming unending smooth floor of this cavern, there is a man stands before you, over 6 feet tall and full plate. His helm is lifted. His hands rest on the pommel of a great sword, upside down, its tip resting on the floor. He appears almost as a specter in this white light, and you think it is just an effect of the light, and you realize there's something more to it. There's almost no color to him. And behind him is a black protruding mound of stone coming out of the floor. In the center of it rises a shield. The shield is black, trimmed in silver, and it seems to almost be half buried directly into this black stone. Looking around, you do see more. You see feet, legs. You see what you think is a breastplate, and then you realize it's the torso of a man. And you realize that around this stone is, who knows, 3, 4, 5 remains of figures that almost look like they shattered in place around this thing. And the man in full plate faces you. And he looks, his head moves between each of you. And he looks at you, Sir Adric. He says, "By the twins, the order still exists." He moves his hand, and as he brings the great sword to one side with an arm, you see on his breastplate it's not identical to the crest that you wear, Dean, that Adric wears, but it's, well, almost a simpler design, almost perhaps older, original. He takes a step forward. He raises a mailed hand, and he goes to press it against your crest.
I'm pretty frozen by all this. I'm Adric's looking at the shield, looking at him, looking at the shield, looking at him, and I actually step away. I step back.
Okay.
I don't let him touch me.
The hand reaches forward, and just as it's about to
I just take
touch
a
you, he
step
takes a
out
step
of
back.
range. Yeah.
You look up in his face, and as you step back, he smiles, kind of a half smile. And this close now, you see in his face,
I say, if you wear that breastplate, you know better.
there's something unnatural about his face. He's not old and wrinkled, but there's something almost ageless about him.
Interesting.
His features have almost dulled in a way. And he says, "Forgive me, good night. I just did not think I would have ever seen it again. I did not think it would exist after all these years.
Who are you?
I am the guardian. I am the bearer. You've come to seek the shield, have you not, good night?"
I have. I've traveled so far, seen so much. These men have been with me each step of the way.
He who is to wield it, step forward. if you will, and if you are able to draw it from the black stone itself, be ye of truer heart than those who have come before.
I start walking over to it, I guess.
Don't think for a minute that any of this bears resemblance to the last crusade. It's merely your imagination.
Or Excalibur.
I look at the bodies
As
that are
they're
strewn
as
around.
they're having their somber little moment, Avery kind of makes his way around the perimeter and tries to get close to one of those chunks of previous crusaders.
Okay.
And kind of still the whole time he's got his eyes on this weird night specter monster, but making his way towards a chunk of failed knight, and Neil's still looking at that guy, and then just take a quick look at that piece, just kind of trying to figure out what exactly he's trying to figure out what happened to these guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
It appears as if you've especially in the last few weeks, you've seen ice break.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a piece of ice be dropped. That's the closest thing you can think of looking at this.
Like they were frozen and then shattered.
Yep.
Okay. And
Sub-Zero.
do these shattered remains, do their armor look like it could have looked like this guy's armor at one point?
It's hard to. I mean, it plate of some kind.
Yeah,
not
but
identical. You don't see a crest.
I don't necessarily see a Order of Blackstone crest.
No, and maybe you recognize a couple things that you maybe even think you make out a noble house you're familiar with.
Sure. Yeah.
This figure, the guardian, turns as you're close by it, and he says, "If you are to be the one who wield it, then you may pull it free."
I just shake my head.
He looks at Adric's crest, and he says, "The shield judges not by the crest on the armor, but by the heart of the man who draws it. A great lesson and a true test.
Does the shield pick the man, or does the man pick the shield?
I only know what I have seen and what I was told. That someday a true knight, a true brethren, would draw this free in the next time of need.
Who told you this?
The others of those that survived when we defeated Octogrim, and the priests of the twins prepared for the long way ahead when we drove the elders off.
You were there?
I was a young man, a squire.
Who were the elders?
And the others, they were those that sought to take it all from us. Our kingdoms, our freedom.
Adric begins making his way to the shield after quietly contemplating something.
They were here before us. Some even say before the twins. But the true servants of the twins, of men, of elf, the gods answered us, would not let them take it all back away.
I turn back towards Avery and Keeler, and I say, Octogrim's followers hoped to beat us here and get the shield. Do any of the remains look like they could be fresher? I mean, probably impossible to tell if they're frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flash preserved. They could be, it could be a day ago or a millennium.
Do any of them look like my people, or do they all look like they would be knights?
Metal skin.
No, you think you see some facial features, some helms that are not completely set. See some pointy ears poking out. You can't tell anything of skin color or anything like that.
I said, Sir Knight, have any others come recently?
I do not know that I could answer that in a way which would be of help.
You say you defeated the Octogrim, but yet it's still here?
We broke it from the sky, and the twins did the rest. I was not at the battle, not at the front. He looks at you, Adric, and he says, 3 men bore the shield that day.
3 men?
Yes. In order. One breathed his last after the fall of night.
Wait, I don't understand. They wielded the shield, yet they died anyway?
It is a great boon, a great gift of the twins. But Octogrim is still a mighty foe. It was then, I'm sure, if you are here, he still is, or will be again.
And only those that approach it now will be able to wield it?
He who draws it will bear it. If
I-
he is able.
I kind of nervously look to Adric and I say, and if he falls?
Then another may try.
Where did the elder go after you defeated them?
I do not know. Gone from the lands shortly before I was. I spent enough years to see some of the damage being repaired. That Octogrim was gone, the elder were gone, and I bear the shield to you.
I step up behind Adric. I'm almost afraid of the shield, like, standing behind him, and I put a hand on your shoulder, and I say to you quietly, when we were in the test,
Yes.
I saw our future. I saw your tomb. And above it, a plaque read that you were the slayer of the Octogrim. You have been called here for that.
Indeed. Thank you, Avery. And remember, we all end up in tombs. It's just a matter of when. I walk up to the shield.
I step back away from it.
I say, by the twins, let me not draw this in vain, but as a bastion against the evil that awaits. And I just yank it.
Put one hand on either side, and almost you feel crackling in your hands, and the shield breaks free of the stone. Black, almost glass-like stone clinks across the floor as you draw it free.
That's sick.
And there's a pop, almost a release of pressure. All of you feel this tremendous weight just sucked out of this chamber. And although there's no perceptible change of temperature or anything like that, it's just this oppressive cold is gone. And you feel, as you, Adric, slip your hand into the bands of this shield, you feel an energy in you. The knight looks at you and he says, strong man, strong heart. Wear it true. It will protect you and your companions. You may call upon its strength.
It will be done.
See-
Adric's really trying to keep his shit together right now because he just wants to be like, yes, fucking feel it. Like the power coursing through him. Unlimited power.
See it to the end, good Sir Knight. For the strength that now you hold in your hand was the same that was taken by the twins from Octogrim himself.
With this or on it.
He takes one step towards you, and he reaches his hand and says, your other shield, he says, you should leave this place. It will not be safe soon. Sir Knight, if you would permit me, he reaches for your shield you brought here.
I hand it to him.
He slips his arm through the bands, one hand on the top of this great sword, and he says, blessings of the twins on your quest. With Carmarcus' heart, see it to the end.
I nod to him.
As you turn in place, you feel a slight unsteadiness, and suddenly you hear a crack,
Here they come.
and you look, and a line races across the floor, and steam starts to shoot out and heat. And the crack widens, and you see bright yellowish white bubbling molten lava below.
We have to get out of here.
And we'll stop there.
All right.
Oh, it's not Holy Grail. It's Crystal Skull. It's a spaceship that's going to fly away.
That's it.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe, hack into your teacher's computer, and assign it to all other students to do the same. You can check us out at nastygrampod.com and also on Twitter at nastygrammrpg. Intro music by Wilhelm Scream. Outro music by Creeping Cadavers, and scores by Adrian Von Ziegler. Check out our good friends at libertystreetgeek.net, and we'll see you next time.
All this wasted youth, dreams of fame that will never come true. Spend all our days watching the world fade away, dance until the lights go out.
That's nasty.